And we're back here at the KDL. I'm State. With me, of course, is Peter. And we just had a fantastic opening match between Live Sandbox and Sensation. But now, we're getting ready to go into match number 2. FINALEe-sports versus ReBoot, the second team match of the night. 2 up-and-coming teams. And it should be a fun one to go to.
For sure. I mean, these teams are definitely a bit of a rookie lineup in the sense that we haven't seen these players prove themselves yet too much here in the Kart Rider League. Of course, we do have some shining figures that, you know, we can already see on the screen. Some of the players, they look just ready.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Both these teams have a lot to prove. FINALEe-sports, if I'm not mistaken, was... Oh, I love it. Love it. Come get me, he said. Love the energy. FINALEe-sports was, I believe, the last team actually to qualify here for this league. So a little bit of an underdog coming in here, even into this match against ReBoot. They've got a lot to prove, not only to themselves, but to their fans, to the Kart Rider esports community in general. And ReBoot, a little bit more of the same story.
Right, and there's a fan for Yoon Se-hyung, which is going to be our player Yoon. So I hope Yoon sees that and gets a little bit of energy boost.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Always a good feeling when you see the fans supporting you there in the audience like that. As ReBoot now stepping onto the stage, Load, Diding, Kosu, and Luning.
I mean, these players are not as, you know, showy and flashy with their entrance, but they definitely looked calm and composed, which is definitely really important to have because you want to make sure you are setting yourself up for the best, and they just look really composed right now.
Yeah, we cannot, of course, forget about Pure either, the item ace on that team. These item aces, as we saw in match number 1, often critical to their team's success. Can determine who wins and who loses in those often chaotic and highly strategic item race maps.
Right. I mean, IM Ace, it is a term that comes from the Korean community, and we will touch into that a bit more later as we see some of the really interesting tactics.
Yeah, and it's about as standard as it gets here. Everyone running 6062 here in speed mode, which is pretty much as vanilla as it gets, but no surprise there. We are seeing some interesting carts here a little bit. Generally, the meta here in Kart Rider Drift in speed mode is you want to try to focus on carts that are smaller because with a smaller hitbox, you can kind of go ahead and take tighter turns. You're a little bit less prone to colliding with opponent carts. And we'll see how that comes into play as we've got a little bit more of a diverse array here of carts for these players.
Right, and we're going to get to see a little bit into ReBoot, but I really liked the comment from FINALEe saying, go and reboot. I feel like it's such an appropriate comment to throw at your opponent, not too disrespectful, but also a nice taste of humor.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we're actually looking at the item lineups here, if I'm not mistaken, as we see some interesting tactics here from ReBoot, heavily prioritizing acceleration over speed.
Right, I mean, that is definitely an unseen tactic so far, definitely the first that we've seen, so it's going to be really interesting as we see ReBoot coming in and saying, FINALEe's members are getting weaker. Are they really heading towards the end? Wow.
Fighting words right there. I mean, prioritizing acceleration there in the item build, it's not too crazy. You think about the way these item maps play out, and oftentimes you might get hit by a water balloon, by a UFO. Something's going to cost you speed inevitably in every single race, and so having that acceleration stat maxed out to be able to catch up before the next item hits it can be a winning strategy. It's not unheard of. We certainly didn't see it there in match number 1, but we'll see how it plays for ReBoot here in match number 2. But before we get into that, Peter, the speed track list.
We love reading the track list. There's Desert Construction Chaos as the first map picked up by ReBoot themselves, followed by Glacier Extreme Stadium, World Tour Terracotta, Twister, Forest, Zigzag Timberland. We've seen this one earlier.
Yeah.
And Desert Feral Pass.
Yeah, Glacier, Terracotta, and Zigzag making an appearance yet again, as these are not only fan favorites, but pro favorite maps. Very fun to watch.
Right.
And should be a blast, and I'm not really sure who in particular to look out for among these two teams. I know that everyone here in the lineup really has something to prove.
Right.
And what I'm most interested in is seeing whether any of these individual players are actually going to be able to stand out here in the speed, or if it's going to be mostly these teams prioritizing teamwork as we head into map number 1.
As we see some really nice cheer pull from the fans. Moving into our next map, it is going to be Desert Construction Chaos to start things off. I am really excited for this.
Absolutely. All right, Desert Construction Chaos is loading in. Map number 1, FINALEe-sports versus ReBoot. And here we go. Looks like FINALEe-sports with Striker getting a pole position there right at the beginning, but ReBoot fighting back very quickly here. It's Striker and Kosu here at the head of the pack.
Right, I mean, this is going to be the speed match, so it is absolutely important that you are keeping that lead this time. Striker and Yoon, right now, they are ganging up on Kosu, so here comes Luning to the rescue.
Yeah, this is a tight race from top to bottom, and you see both Yoon and Luning also right behind these players. Top 4 in this podium. Very tight gears. We have some technical turns coming up. Very tight drifting here.
Right, Kosu with the blocks, constantly preventing Striker from moving up. The blocking is the same.
Yeah, the blocking's fantastic there. Striker with a little bit of a mistake, but he's able to recover quite well there. Does lose some momentum as we come into the slow pass. Oh my goodness, from Luning. That was some fantastic body blocking right there. Really taking the wind out of Striker's sails.
Right, ReBoot is feeling so good right now with Kosu ahead. However, we look at the points, and of course, FINALEe is trying to catch up. They are behind by 9 points right now. This is the final lap, so they need to step it up now.
Kosu and Luning right now in a comfortable lead, but Striker is gaining in. Will Luning be able to body block again? You see him try to go for it there. Taking very tight lines, trying to anticipate the line that Striker's going to take as we have a bit of a collision.
Right, collisions, they can definitely impact the game quite a bit as we see ReBoot still maintaining that insane lead, more than 2 times the points ahead. Now, FINALEe trying to catch up a bit with Yoon in 3rd place.
Yeah, but ReBoot just feels like they're in complete control right now, and with Luning giving Kosu so much breathing room, Kosu, he's basically in time trial mode. He doesn't have any opponents he needs to worry about. It's just him working on his lines, playing the nice conservative races. Yoon, he's struggling to catch up, but the distance between these 3 racers is huge.
At this point, I feel like Kosu and Luning are fighting for rank 1. Just like, hey buddy, let's set a new time record. They're drifting beautifully, just in unison.
Yeah, fantastic race there. The tag team combo of Kosu and Luning there, especially with Luning's body blocking, just worked to perfection there. You see Striker and Yoon from FINALEe, they both tried to pass at various moments, but Luning just in complete control, great situal awareness, and that's going to be a very comfortable win.
Right, and Luning was a player definitely mentioned a lot by other players as the one to watch out for, as we see a new record being set by Luning, an impressive time for sure. And now, here we see the results. There is going to be that score going over for our team ReBoot.
Yeah, ReBoot with a very comfortable win there. They've got to be feeling quite confident, but after this, we're heading into Glacier Extreme Stadium. What do we got here, Peter?
Cartrider drifts Kosu. Gosu will play a match with you. Gosu means pro in Korean.
Kosu also means cilantro, little known fact.
Oh, nice. I learned something today.
I love my cilantro, man. All right, Glacier Extreme Stadium is loading up. Will FINALEe-sports be able to close the distance? And off we go. All these players boosting right here from the start. You see Yoon from FINALEe going to try and get some nice body blocking there to get some freedom for Striker, and it works. Striker already in a comfortable position as Yoon now. Kind of taking the same line that Luning did in the previous map, playing defense there for his teammate, but look at this, Peter. D-Ding, he's closing the distance.
Ding is definitely looking to try to break the invincible shield right now. FINALEe being so composed, staying ahead, 3 members up there, and now ReBoot. Kosu is now showing up to the picture. Ding, you're doing a great job. Let me help you out, buddy.
Yeah, Ding still hot on the tails here of Striker. These players are going to try and take the best lines they can, but Ding really has to watch out for Yoon here in these hairpin turns, as Yoon's going to try his best to block and collide. And you see Yoon already cutting in front. Fantastic cut drifting there. Able to make those nice sharp U-turns. Here we go, load. Oh, he's going to be able to make the pass. And Striker right now, look at that comfortable lead that Yoon's body blocking gave him.
Absolutely fantastic teamwork coming out of Finale. Load trying to do whatever he can, but Striker does have a good lead right now, so perhaps he could use a bit of help from Kosu, who is following right behind. Get Timon out of the way, and Striker is the target next.
And almost any time you see type hacks like this, with Taman and Load there colliding, those collisions, they're going to cost you momentum. You're not going to be able to take the best line that you want. So Striker, he's just going to be able to play this a little bit comfortably, and the onus is here for ReBoot's Load to try and close the distance despite Yoon hot on his heels.
Right, actually the bigger problem right now is not even Load getting the first place, but if you take a look at the points, Finale is just so far ahead. Ding and Luning in the back, they need to catch up and give some breathing space to Load.
All right, Finale line is coming up as Finale's going to take map number 2 and tie this up 1-1 with Striker having a massive lead there to close things out. I mean, that felt like it was almost a 1-second gap between him and second place, which I gotta tell you, KartRiderEsports in Korea, that's a pretty sizable distance. That was a nice win there for Finale.
Finale definitely making sure that they are not coming into this tournament one-sided, giving that punch right back over to ReBoot. Oh,
love a little finger wag there.
And wow, new record.
1/8 of a second there for Striker. On the way with first place, as Finale is going to tie this up 1-1 here on Glacier Extreme Stadium. Feeling good about that win. All smiles here for Team Striker.
Absolutely loving it right now, feeling themselves. They definitely need to continue that momentum towards the next map, because we are tied right now and we are looking for a winner.
Yeah, heading back to Terracotta Twister, and for the map score 1-1, kind of wonder how these guys are going to be playing some of these lines. This is one of those maps that we talk about as a little bit riskier to take the most optimal possible line.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you get this, like, say map 3 and a team is really far behind, they might play really greedy, but here 1-1, you gotta be safe.
And players are definitely going to try to play safe as we head into World Tour Terracotta Twister.
Everybody ready to go as the racers are off. We'll see who gets the better part of this exchange. Is Taman going to try and do some body blocking, but actually Ding and Kosu
leading out right now for sure, as we see ReBoot 25 points against Finale's 15. So Finale definitely speeding things up right now. We see so many players just toe to toe.
Yeah, look at the breathing room that Ding has already. His teammates did a fantastic job of really giving him that space. His Striker, the speedster from the last map, going to try and close the distance here with Kosu hot on his tails. As we have a quite even spread. ReBoot, despite having pole position, only 3 points in the lead.
Definitely.
Oh, this is the dangerous spot you talk about, man.
Yeah, I mean, you call this
so
one
tricky.
You look at those drifts, they're just right on the edge. You never know when you're going to fall. And right now, ReBoot is leading strong, 3 point ahead. Ding has not been contested once so far.
And luckily for both teams, however, I think it was both Yoon and Kosu that went down, so it wasn't as though one player lost 2 to that fall. It's still a very tight race with Ding just a hair ahead here of Striker, who's going to try and draft him the best he can. Get those little tiny speed boosts to close the distance, and I mean, these two are pulling away from the pack.
This is the final lap right now, so Striker definitely needs to pull up whatever he can. The perfect drifts,
that was
perfect
a beautiful
boost,
line.
beautiful lines, you name it. It needs to happen if he wants to dethrone Ding and give his team the little edge. Finale behind by only 3 to 1 point right now.
Just a fraction of a second separating Striker and Ding here for first place. Is Striker now in first. ReBoot with a 21 to 18 point lead as we're getting closer and closer to that finish line. 500 meters away here as ReBoot look to be in a commanding position to win map number 3.
They're getting close, and as you said, ReBoot, it looks like they're gonna just take this one straight to the home. What a showing by ReBoot here, showing that the team they do not need to get first place as long as your team gets second, third, fourth, and sixth.
That was fun. It was a lot of fun. And Terracotta Twister, one of my favorite maps. There's always a little bit of drama, you know. Every single map, somebody's going to fall down, taking that line a little bit too greedy or getting hit by a collision, getting a little bit off course there. And fantastic win here for ReBoot as they go up 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, ReBoot, this was the team that had a little bit more expectation coming in because of the players they have. There were a lot of players who haven't really proved themselves yet, but were really known to be good. And today, they definitely showed some of their prowess. Their driving was excellent. The line was beautiful. Just really well played.
Zigzag Timberland going to be the next map as we have a quick recap over here. I think this is Kosu and Yoon, if I'm not mistaken. When they bungle this turn, you see they a little bit too greedy there. Both fall down into the Terracotta. And as I said, luckily for both these teams, it's not as though one of them lost, one team lost 2 players, you know. It was a bit tit for tat there, but just goes to show the fine line you have to walk, especially on maps like Terracotta, between the most optimal line and potential disaster.
Absolutely. As we head into another map for us, Zigzag Timberland in the forest, I am excited.
Racers lining up. ReBoot right now on match point here for the speed portion of this match. But Unit Striker with a nice lead here to start things out. Oh! Said that too soon? Luning and Kosu, look at that.
The replay on that block was so insane. ReBoot definitely having such a huge lead right now. You know, when you have 3 players at the very front, you know that you're in a good position.
Yeah, especially having 3 on top allows you to give a little bit more room for body blocking there as we see Load trying to give Luning some space, kind of let him activate some time trial modes here. But Striker does not want to let that happen. He is hot on their tail. With this drag lifting, he might be getting the speed bonuses he needs to pass, but just look at Load just towing the line here, not giving him any room to maneuver.
This is what happens when everyone's a pro, because even if you play really good, so are your opponents.
Striker is able to pass Load now. Only Luning stands ahead of him. As FINALEE-sports with Vanilla and Taman at the bottom of the pack, gonna try and make something happen, but no. Collision there, and ReBoot taking the top 2 spots quite convincingly here as Striker losing quite a bit of momentum.
This must be so frustrating for FINALEE right now, not being able to cut in the edge of the race. If you take a look at the points, ReBoot is just sitting so strong right now, and this is the final lap. So FINALEE, you have to pull something out.
Yeah, and it's got to come from the bottom right now. Taman, Vanilla, and Striker, they need to close this distance. It can't just be Yoon taking first place. The entire team needs to maneuver up, as Yoon will be able to pass Ding there only for a moment as Ding maneuvers right back. Some fantastic body blocking. I mean, look at Kosu over here on the back foot too, keeping Striker and Taman at a distance for the longest time.
Right, Kosu being just so proficient with the blocks. Finally, one member from FINALEE-sports moving up, giving a little bit more of a close point range, down 5 points right now.
Yeah, Luning and Ding right now in both position 1 and position 2. Oh, Ding with a little bit of a collision there on the wall. It's going to make this a closer race, 22-17 right now, as we're getting closer and closer to that finish line here on lap number 2. Will FINALEE be able to catch up?
Oh no, there's only 300 meters left. FINALEE, you have to do something crazy.
Not quite able to make it happen, and ReBoot going to win map number 4 and secure that 3-1 win in the speed mode.
What a showing from ReBoot, looking super clean. You know, I feel like that is the concept of today. We haven't had any really close best of 5s. These teams making sure to show their practice in action.
Absolutely, and now heading into item mode, I wonder if ReBoot's gonna be feeling even more comfortable because they're able to swap in their item ace, Pure, and they're able to use this kind of unique build that a lot of other teams haven't been rolling with max points on acceleration here in item. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us.
I mean, it's crazy. These teams keep having more and more hidden trump cards coming out. Although they are already ahead, it is definitely seeming like a tough task as we see Jung Seung-in player who likes banana, I missed you.
Yeah.
I missed him too.
Banana will also be coming in here for a finale in the item map. They definitely need a win here to force that ace match.
We want to see it, right? We have to see it once.
Vanilla will be the player swapped out here. Banana coming in. And boy, does Finale need a little bit more confidence coming in after a 3-1 loss in speed mode.
And it is definitely going to be a big morale boost, especially for Banana. If he comes in and all of a sudden turns things around for his team, it's going to help boost his confidence. And, you know, when you're playing confident in games, it definitely shows and leads to some good results. As on the other side, ReBoot also going for that switch you mentioned.
Yep, Pure going to be swapping in here for low. Pure is well known as an item specialist, so both these teams going to try and use the full depth of their roster to bring out that trump card, as you said. Will be Banana for FINALEe-sports and Pure for ReBoot. And I can't wait to see these guys go toe-to-toe against each other.
It is definitely going to be some classic kart rider drift action. This is what all the fans have been waiting for. Korean fans, global fans. Now we are all here gathered together to witness the item tracklist.
Yeah, Mushroom Caves is going to be map number 1. That was Finale's pick, followed by Motherlode for ReBoot, Brody's Gloom for Finale, Icebreaker Pass ReBoot, and then if we go to map number 5, it will be Pharaoh's Pass.
We are definitely going to see why do players like Forest Mushroom Caves. This has to be a map that was definitely first picked, right? So there's extra meaning to it. The players, it could be their comfort pick. It could be overall a map where they just practice the most on.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. That was the first map pick in the previous team match as well, right? I mean, Mushroom Caves, it's a solid map, but I do wonder whether the bans come into play here too. I mean, there's so much depth that comes into like swapping in different players, in addition to having a map draft with bans, where it's difficult from an outsider's point of view to know exactly what the game plan is and what the logic is behind these teams picking and banning each individual map. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we understand one thing: if it's banned, then it's probably for a good reason.
Yeah, that's true. Certainly true. Our teams are getting ready. Forest Mushroom Cave going to be map number 1 here as ReBoot looking to close this one out. Let's go to Forest Mushroom Caves.
Here we go, the race starts. This is going to be the deciding moment for FINALEe-sports. Definitely looking for some performance out of Banana.
Yeah, we'll see what Banana's able to bring to the table here. Is this guy, well, at least from the interviews, I've heard he has a lot of character.
Character, personality, he's got it all. Of course, we see Finale going for the strategy of slowing down, picking up items, because this is the first lap.
Yeah, just holding tight in the middle of the pack. We saw this work quite well earlier in the tournament for, I believe it was one of the other teams. And now Kosu here holding on to the Angel Shield. ReBoot holding positions 2, 3, 5, and for a moment there's 6. So midfield kind of hotly contested right now. Yoon is here at the front, but you see he does have Kosu right on his heels. And in item mode, it's not like speed where the body blocking really comes into play. It's more about the way these items are utilized and the critical timing that they come in to determine who's going to win.
Right, I mean, Yoon wasn't even drifting in the front there, so he was just, you know, holding down the accelerate button, but not necessarily the boost. But of course, this is the second lap now, so players are definitely going to start bringing out their strategies.
Luning and Ding right now, hot on the tails of Yoon, as keep in mind, it's the first racer to cross the finish line that's going to be the winner, not only for themselves, but for their whole teams, as both teams desperately need a map win here. Ding going to try and close this distance. Yoon with a nice shield there and also dodging the barricade at the same time to flex the rocket. As lap number 2 getting closer and closer to the finish line. Ding, what did he pick up? It looks like it was another shield from Yoon.
Good reaction speed by Yoon. Keeping up that first place.
Oh, the Nitro! The Nitro coming in from Ding, and he pops the shield, and he's going to be the first one to cross the finish line.
What a combo.
ReBoot picks up a great win there. Yeah, what a combo to close things out, man. It's about as good as it could possibly ask for. As it seemed for a long time, Yoon with his shield usage there was going to be in a commanding position, but just did not go his way.
Yeah, Yoon was playing out of his mind, pretty much deflecting every little distraction that came his way, but ding, he just turned on the magnet and the boost, and that was enough to win his team that match.
I mean, a boost gives you a lot of speed, but a boost plus some magnets, like, oh man, we're going, and it's like Star Trek, like hyperdrive or something, man. Like, you're just zooming through space at that point. And ReBoot gonna be very happy with that win, and fantastic play there coming out of Ding.
Right, so FNALEE definitely feeling a bit down given that they lost the speed mode. Now in the item mode, they definitely want to pick up some pace here because Banana, we know this man, he's the guy for these item modes. He's going to be able to show us what he has for the next map. It will be Mine Mother Load. I cannot wait to see this map. This map is going to be definitely different from the Mushroom Caves.
Yeah, for sure. And you gotta wonder what the game plan is gonna be here for FINALEE-sports. They desperately need a win. So we'll see what's gonna go on there as everybody's getting ready.
Right, players getting ready for the game. Of course, this is a good time for us right now, State, to actually get ready to move on once again to the next map, Mine Mother Load. Home baby, show me that map.
Players weren't quite ready. Here we go, Mine Mother Load, FINALEE needing a win here. All right, racers are off.
To a great start, you know, just slowing things down. Of course, the first lap is being utilized as pretty much the lap where you pick up items and synergize with your teammates and form strategies.
Yep, yeah, you're trying to go through the shortcut there, but hit the wall and lost a lot of speed. Gonna fall all the way there to 8th place right now. But FINALEE, despite that, gotta be feeling pretty good. You know, Taemin, Banana, contesting top 2 spots right now, but it is a hotly contested field here as Kosu's gonna come over here, take another shortcut over here on this mine track. And that boost is gonna give Banana quite a bit of zooming, but the UFO comes in. I'm not sure whether that got deflected. Banana does have a shield in his bag.
Right, as we take a look at the items on the teams right now, we don't see any Angel. We don't see the highly contested items that players usually want to pick up.
ReBoot had like 6 nitrous per moment there. I wonder if that's part of their strategy, just making those coming into lap number 2. But here we go, Banana gonna come over here with that jump, contesting with Kosu here for the number 1 spot. Barricade pops off and both players will dodge it.
Right now, players are once again just getting rid of the items, the more unwanted ones, to prepare for the 3rd lap, where things are going to really kick up and start to get spicy.
Yeah, oftentimes in item modes, everything coming up to that final lap, it's all about posturing, right? We saw that just in the previous match where the final usage of items in the last key moments of the map are going to be what determines who secures the win. And Luning going for some fancy drifting there. He's got that nitrous in the bag as well. The leading racer here for ReBoot as FINALEE holding a lot of these top spots.
Banana was in the lead there, but Taemin was able to take that lead back. Currently, FINALEE-sports is looking really good. They just need to keep Taemin in the lead, looking for definitely more of those shields and angels to protect their leading player.
And we'll see exactly how this one's going to shake out. Now, Yoon not only being in the lead, but also does have a nitrous as the finish line is 500 meters away. Yoon's going to save that nitrous. He falls back a little bit, take a target off his back, and then he nitruses across the finish line for the win. Fantastic execution there by Yoon. Going to secure the map win there in the most meek and humble bow.
That was really, really well played by you.
That was awesome.
Perfect execution of that boost. It just really all of a sudden changed the tides of that match.
He had that nitrous in the bag, and he knew that he could just hold on to it until that last key moment to speed across the finish line. And yeah, just beautiful play there by Yoon as FINALEE is going to tie things up here 1-1 here in item mode.
Absolutely. This is what we want to see, right? Some of the closer matches coming in State. We do want to see that punch back and forth, and we can see the players are also happy with it right now, getting that motivation up for the team.
Yeah, FINALEE's got to be feeling a lot better about that. You do not want to go on to match point after losing the speed mode races at the beginning of this match. So this map is going to be Factory Brody's Gloom. These players getting ready so far. They seem quite evenly matched here on items so far. I'm liking the plays that we're seeing out of both sides.
Absolutely. I mean, the strategies have definitely been paying off as we get ready to go into our next map, Factory Brody's Blue.
All right, here we go. Racers are off. First time seeing Brody's Bloom here, I think, today.
It's definitely a funky map. I dig it.
Oh, it's got nice vibes, man. This is one of the most beautiful maps. I love the color scheme they have added in here.
For sure. As we see, of course, this map does have only 2 laps instead of 3. So it is going to be a lot faster paced, meaning players have less time to gather their desired items. But this one is definitely going to be very spicy.
Laps are a little bit longer, but we'll see exactly how that's going to shake out right now as Kosu holding the pole position, but as we've seen time and time again, that only goes so far as you see just kind of slowly coming through, and these players going to dodge those obstacles as UFO will pick up Banana, I think, as now it's Taman in the lead. Kosu hot on his tail with his shield.
As we see players, none of them have the Angel right now on the side of FINALEe-sports. Only ReBoot has that available. So now, going into the second lap, how is that going to snowball? FINALEe, they do have Banana in the lead.
Yeah, but I feel like it's really, oh no, getting caught up by the Roomba there as it cleans the floor. And Banana right now does have a comfortable lead with Yoon actually right behind him, so that's a nice spot here for FINALEe. One of the ideal situations, unless ReBoot's able to do some great items and close the gap.
Banana absolutely ahead right now with double shields, ensuring that he won't be able to keep that lead up.
That's a lot of momentum gone there for ReBoot as FINALEe right now holding the top 3 spots. And we've seen teams come back from this before, but ReBoot, it feels like they might have their work cut out for them, especially with Pure getting caught there by the Wisp as well. Banana with double shield. Yoon and Striker with a Nitrous as well as the finish line, only 300 meters away. Will Luning be able to pull a magic trick yet again?
Luning!
Oh my goodness!
That was so crazy. He pulls it off at the last possible moment, bringing another win yet for his team, ReBoot.
Man, I was so confident that FINALEe-sports was going to be walking away with that map, but Luning, yet again right there, the combination of the Nitrous and the shield, just kind of pulling the rug out from the opposing team and walking away with yet another win.
We have
Great
absolutely seen Nitro being such a huge impact so far in these item modes, especially if you save it for the last moment. It can really turn around clutch situations, and that is exactly what we saw from Luning here.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're able to get the invulnerability from the shield and couple that with a Nitrous, and you're in position to contest the end of the race, there is phenomenal comeback potential, as we saw in the last 2 maps. And I mean, just great utility usage there from Yoon. You look at the scoreboard right there, and you got to think that FINALEe is in complete control of the situation, but Yoon just coming up with a masterclass play.
Right, I mean, we're just taking a look. This was the moment as we saw the crazy amount of speed suddenly coming out for Luning, and FINALEe players were just left behind to pick up the dust.
Yeah, Luning, just phenomenal stuff right there as a ReBoot. Feeling pretty confident right now. That was a great win there by them. So we're getting ready to go into Glacier Icebreaker Pass. It'll be 2-1 now in favor of ReBoot, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, and Glacier Icebreaker Pass is a map that we are definitely familiar with, coming right up. More Kart Rider action being brought to you live.
Racers are off here. Icebreaker Pass, we'll see exactly who's able to pick the best items.
Right.
He does get hit there by a Wisp. Striker in pole position with 2 shields, but as we've seen many times over, it's really more about the way these things line up in the mid game. Lap number 2, lap number 3, what items you get, and what position your team is set up in the field. So,
absolutely.
For now, just kind of taking it nice and slow and easy, as Luning looks like he's going to be the top gunner here for ReBoot.
Striker, he has mentioned that Glacier Extreme Stadium is his favorite map, and he is also known for his name, literally quite, He has the playstyle of a very aggressive player. He likes to strike at people. So I am definitely placing a lot of expectations on Striker to pull through for his team. Got that double shield, used one up to try to refresh the item status.
He definitely does seem to be one of the faster players here on this roster, and FNALEe's trusting him to take the pole position, so to speak, here, as he is their player in striking distance.
Right? I mean, this is absolutely building up right now as players. They are on their second lap with the third lap approaching soon. Angel being picked up by ReBoot, 2 players holding on to it. FNALEe also has one of their own. This last lap is about to spice up.
Yep, Banana right now holding on to both the Nitrous and the UFO is Ding Luning in first place right now. You with some nice speed, gonna be able to take first place, but he does have that magnet, which does not help you up too much from the podium. And ooh, taken out by an item there, but look at this. Pure actually right now has 2 Angel Shields.
That's gonna be big. You know those Angels can come in really big.
Is double Nitrous as well. They might try to wombo combo this just a little bit. We'll see. First Nitrous coming in here for Kosu, gonna pick up another item. Barricades do get taken out. Angel Shields coming in, finish line so close, and Striker's gonna walk away with it.
They were so close, but Striker coming in as the guy we were looking at. Striker, you know, this was his best map, and we clearly saw why.
Yeah, and I love that setup there by both Kosu and Pure. Kosu there with the Nitrous and Pure holding on to the Angel Shields, but Striker was just a little bit too quick for them. Barely sneaking away with a win there, and we have a 2-2 score.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking really close. Item mode definitely looking evenly matched between our 2 teams here today, as we see just how much impact Banana and Pure has been able to put in for their team since, you know, being subbed in as the item mode specialists.
Yeah, and those specialists are so critical. Oftentimes we don't see them there at the front of the pack, but that's because they're hanging down, they're going slow, they're picking up as many items as possible to support their team in any way they can, and we almost saw that there at the tail end of that game with Pure with the double Angel Shield. That's a pretty hardy item set to have to support your teammates.
Right, and I love the Nitrous, you know, it just adds such a nice little kick to our races.
Nitrous critical not only in speed mode, but also in item mode.
Nitrous for the president.
As we get ready, Pharaoh's Pass will be the last map here of this set.
Here we go, the deciding match for both teams, ReBoot and FNALEe. This is definitely going to be a lot on the line. As we see, players are really just evenly matched right now, making sure that they can rush towards the item boxes and start filtering through them.
Banana right now in the lead, going to be picking up items bit by bit. Yoon right behind him as FNALEe holding all top 3 spots with Striker also coming in and just trying to deny these items from ReBoot as best he can, even opting for them with a full item inventory just to deny.
Right, we have Pure just trying to pick up items, not really trying to contest FNALEe much right now. I really wonder what is the game plan for FNALEe here. It does feel like a lot of their players are sitting at the front, so we saw a player go back.
I actually don't know how he got so much speed, but he just sped past everybody before getting caught by a UFO there and sent back to whence he came.
It's crazy, man. These speeds, it's just hard to keep up with.
Item mode is just absolute chaos, man. I love it. You see these players trying to take very I don't want to say inefficient lines, but you see them hugging the edge here because they don't want to get blindsided by any water balloons coming out. It's very rare that you'll see them just kind of sitting here in the middle of the pack, and I think we'll get caught there by a UFO. Does speed right back up there as Banana and Striker are just barely ahead of him.
Right now, this is going into the third lap. This is where things kick up as we see Banana. Really nice itemization there. He is going to be feeling confident blocking out some of the other distraction items.
Yeah, look at the item set right now here for FNALEe. You, both with a shield and Nitrous, we've seen that combination win games right at the tail end of a race many times over. As you see him just kind of holding on to those for now, doesn't want to use them too quickly, only wants to use them if he needs to.
This is looking dicey for FNALEe. ReBoot right now coming in with 3 players contesting top 4. Oh my goodness, Temin where did you come from? But Kosu is going to go to Kosu, locking in that win for ReBoot. That was extremely close.
Another photo finish there, and ReBoot's going to walk away with a win here in item mode. And one of the most exciting item modes I think we've had so far today. I mean, every single map was so close, and it felt like it came down to the wire every single time. There's so many surprise finishes there, and just a fantastic performance, frankly, from both of these teams. But ReBoot going to be walking away with this one, 3-2 map score. Kosu barely edging out Striker by a fraction of a second, literally almost a 10th of a second.
Right, and Kosu, he does consider his own playstyle to be a bit of an all-rounder, definitely showing up here today. Congratulations to ReBoot on this excellent victory.
Yeah, Pure doing his job supporting the team, Kosu coming in.
Again, it's
right
the
there
same
at the
circle.
end.
Gosu. Kosu is
Kosu
Gosu,
is
man.
Gosu.
Exactly. we know the same thing there. Kosu is indeed.
Yeah, man, that Cheerful predicted it. So we get an instant replay of this. Look.
Oh, so close.
So close. You see the other players from FINALEe trying to slow him down right there with the magnet, but just barely not enough. Literally a 10th of a second separated Kosu from victory and defeat, but he was able to come away with it in spectacular fashion there. As ReBoot walking away with Pharaoh's pass, and man, what a fantastic match.
Right, I mean, item mode definitely has been a bit of a more slow-going approach compared to the speed mode, but this definitely made me an excited fan of these item modes because we see the Nitrous being so good.
Yeah, ReBoot winning 3-1 in speed mode, 3-2 in item mode. They will be very happy with this victory here, especially on the first day, the inaugural day of the KDL. It's going to be something that this team coming in here, they had something to prove, and they're going to be happy about this performance.
Absolutely. No teams made it to set 3 today at all. All teams are going home early today to either reflect on their losses and learn from their opponent, or learn even into what they did good and what they need to replicate next time, coming into more matches.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I guarantee that every single team that came up to play today, win or lose, they're going to be watching these VODs. They're going to be analyzing lines. They're going to be discussing amongst themselves what they can do better. And they're going to be even stronger when they come into their next match. And, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint here at KartRiderDrift. It's 6 weeks of action. So these players, they're going to do everything in their power to continuously improve.
Absolutely. Speaking of doing everything to improve, I just want to shout out Ding, because Ding says his average practice time is just always, except for sleeping time. Like, how?
Yeah, I remember.
Does he eat?
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the sheet too. He's the one who wrote down like the infinity symbol when they asked him how often he's practicing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
good stuff. That's exactly how you go about making yourself better. Practice just makes you better. Like, I don't know, like, have you experienced any of that in your KartRiderDrift experience so far?
I'm practicing. I'm not sure I'm getting better. Maybe a little bit. But certainly in other games. I mean, I played StarCraft 2 competitively. I currently play Age of 4, I can't even say the game. Age of Empires 4 competitively. And I can tell you that the time that you sink into practicing, it doesn't matter if you're winning in practice. It doesn't matter if you're losing in practice. If you're investing that time and you're taking a kind of learning approach as a player, trying to improve nonstop, you will get better at that game. And I mean, Ding, as you said, he's taking it very seriously, practicing nonstop, especially the launch of a new game like KartRiderDrift, released this year. That is how you do it. That is how you become one of the best of the best. And maybe he won't reach that stance today. Maybe it won't be in 3 months, but 6 months from now, 1 year from now, there is potential. I mean, in StarCraft 2, when the game launched, in the very first GSL tournament, we saw the birth of legends, Fruit Dealer, MVP, OGSMC. Those players were there from the very beginning, and they made history. And I guarantee you that the players that are competing in this tournament right here today will eventually become legends in KartRiderDrift, and they're going to do it through practice.
That is absolutely what's exciting about esports, because you always have great legends that have made such an impactful, scene in the esports, but new players every year, they can still continue to add to that legacy, make sure their name is known. And what I really love about KartRider is that this game is absolutely fun. It's always changing. There's so much diversity. It's not like you can practice a map 100 times and just expect it to be the same experience, just trying to become a better robotic player. It's not that. You're having fun each time you're grinding with all these different variables.
Yeah, and it's not just time trials either. I mean, even if in a vacuum you can run the perfect line and get the best possible race score, that's not the way it works in tournament. There are 7 other players in that lobby. There are going to be collisions. You're going to have to block other people. They're going to be trying to block you. They're going to be trying to mess you up and make you lose momentum. So there's not only just that raw mechanical skill, but a lot of intuition that comes in being a top player, not just in Kart Rider, but in any game. And that's one of those reasons why practice, like Ding is doing, is so critical, because you don't get better at those things without investing the time. So right now, it's really kind of a seminal moment, I think, here for Kart Rider Drift Esports. And I bet you a lot of the players that are competing today, even in these first 2 matches, have very bright futures ahead of them.
For sure. I can't wait to see more of them. Speaking of tomorrow, we're already going to get so many different new teams. And even today, we still have more matches.
That's right.
And the format is even going to change. It's going to be a point system now going in, where players are going to be constantly racing against each other. It's not going to be just a simple best of 5. It's a matter of who is more consistently getting that first place, which is definitely, I feel like, one of the most competitive aspects to Kart Rider Drift.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the team portion of today is ending, but after the break that we go to in a moment, we're going to be back with the solo Kart Rider speed racing, which is personally what I'm looking forward to the most. I love team games. I love team play, but for me personally, I think 1v1, that's where legends are made, FFA, like being the best racer out of a stack of 8 racers, especially today with Group A, the group of death here in this tournament, it's going to be very thrilling to watch.
I absolutely agree with you. I think most people would agree as well when we talk about preferring that solo match over maybe like a team. Because if you rely on a team, there's so many other variables outside of just your own skill. And I feel like getting rewarded for your own results is what makes practice perfect. And now we'll be back for more Kart Rider action in no time. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.